Hi, and welcome to the Dawn Show. Dawn Stensland-Menti here. So we have passed the first deadline to sign up for health care, or Obamacare as it's known, to have health insurance come January 1st, 2014, but not nearly as many people have signed up for it yet as the Obama administration had hoped. So if you're one of the millions who has not signed up yet, hopefully we can answer some of the questions that you may have kind of wade through the myths of Obamacare and what's going on. My first guest here is Kevin Flynn, president of Healthcare Advocates, and here to try to help us understand it all, because we have a lot of media hype and incendiary media that gets into politics. That's not my goal. My goal is to really educate all of us, and I've enjoyed picking your brains before the show, so thanks for being here, Kevin.
Thank you for having me.
So first of all, I want to talk about what you do. In other words, how did it all begin for you to become an advocate?
To become an advocate, normally there are different courses. You can become a nurse, you can be a doctor, you can be an insurance specialist, you can be a billing person. So healthcare has many facets to it. So you can start out in any one discipline, and then you can go into the field of navigation or healthcare advocacy.
But for you, as an 18-year-old, it began with a horrible car accident.
Yes. I was 18, I was at college, and I was hit by a car. Suffered brain damage, and I couldn't walk, I couldn't talk, couldn't read or write. I thought 2 + 2 = 5, and most people thought that was funny. I did for a little while too, because I was sure 2 + 2 = 5.
Aww.
So I had insurance, had Blue Cross, but when you can't read or write, you have to go see a neuropsychologist. These are the people that teach you how to read and write again. And I only had a $14,000 benefit on psychiatric, and I had a bunch of CAT scans, I was seeing neuropsychologists all the time. My insurance ran out, so all of a sudden I was on Medicaid. Now, at the same time, I was experiencing what we thought was temporal lobe epilepsy. So you have a little epileptic seizure, you don't know what's going on. And no doctor would see me because I was on Medicaid. So one day I got smart. I put on my Penn sweatshirt, my penny loafers, like I just walked in off Dad's yacht. And the nurse said, "Hey, do you have an insurance card?" I said, "No, sorry, I forgot it back at the dorm." So they let me in to see the doctor. The doctor said, "Hey, count these numbers, remember these, here are a bunch of numbers, recite them backwards." Apparently I failed everything. He said, "Wow, you have some real problems. We need to run some tests. What kind of insurance do you have?" I said, "Well, I'm on Medicaid." He said, "Damn it, I just lost money on you. Never do that to another doctor, it's not fair." Now, it wasn't that the doctor wasn't being paid. He was getting 50 cents on the dollar from Medicaid as opposed to 80 cents on the dollar from Blue Cross. So he threw me out. So I'm back out on the street, I go to the next doctor. I do the same thing. Doctor says, "What kind of insurance do you have?" I said, "I'm on Medicaid." And I'm cringing. He said, "Why are you cringing?" I said, "Because I'm on Medicaid." He said, "Who cares?" I had found a research doctor who had to see patients.
Lucky.
I got lucky. I hit the jackpot. So they were running all these tests, did all these things. We found out it wasn't temporal lobe epilepsy. It was a vestibular problem. He sent me over to the neuro unit, so now I'm doing a bunch of things. Along the way, I met a really good neuropsychologist. He said, "Look, go home. You know those SAT programs you kids prepare for? Go do that. That's going to practice your verbal skills. It's going to help your math skills. Go do that and just do that all day long." So with this patchwork of people, I got better. Things got well.
But had you been wealthy, had you not been on Medicaid, you would have had a team of people to do all that.
I would have had a private nurse. Everybody would walk me through things.
So at a very young age, as an 18-year-old, you had great appreciation for what it is to be insured and have good insurance.
Exactly. Who is the professional patient? Lobbyists, they're always talking about, let's do more cancer research, let's do more diabetes. But who's helping Joe Sixpack, one family at a time, with the child with a drug problem, or another child with anorexia, another child who has learning disabilities or autism? Who's helping all these people? One, get to the right doctor. Two, to a cost-effective doctor. Three, what if your insurance company says no? What if mom and dad need assisted living or need to be in a nursing home? Who's helping you figure out the financial situation and the outcomes? Where do you go for good outcomes? Is it the guy who's on TV, or is it the guy over at the local hospital who's doing the research on this?
So for you, when you heard about the Affordable Care Act, Obamacare, for you, what is the biggest myth that you see out there that you want to, if you have a myth buster?
The myth buster is Obamacare really is going to work in about 10 years. Right now, people are seeing the price of insurance skyrocket, and there are a lot of reasons for that. But if Obamacare is allowed to give some time, and people do their preventative screenings, you'll see the cost of healthcare coming down. And let me explain why. The reason healthcare costs so much is because people go to their doctor with stage 4 cancer. They go to their doctor with full-blown diabetes. Now, at this situation, they're utilizing a lot of healthcare to manage and control. If you find these situations early, stage 1 cancer, when you're pre-diabetic, and you address them then, you're going to see a significant cost savings. Now, that is the foundation why preventative screenings are actually built into the Affordable Care Act. I just hope, and I have to thank you for this, because it's my opinion, one place where the Obamacare went wrong is there wasn't a big education campaign in it.
That's
They didn't tell people, hey, this is why you need to be insured. Especially with the 20 and 30-year-olds, they're invincible. They don't think they need health care. So one thing which I would like to do, and I thank you because this comes to your genius, which is you're telling people, one, this is why you actually need insurance, and two, this is why you need preventative screening. So if more people would get preventative screenings to find the cancer earlier, to find the diabetes earlier, you're going to find that the cost of health care is going down because you're going to catch all diseases earlier instead of later.
And Kevin, we're going to answer more questions that people have and also talk about why that invincible young group, the fact that they're not signing up, is really hurting Obamacare and all of us, bringing those prices up. More on Obamacare with Kevin when we come right back.